There's a lot that's transpiring right now in the cosmos with the solar flares internally, things that maybe aren't being activated currently, but were activated over the last few years and take a lot of time to expound upon, to understand. One of the main lessons that we're facing right now is how to coalesce the individual experience with the collective experience. And the way that this is happening is through the majority, or let's say all of humanity, going through something that is similar in, like, let's say flavor or texture or, spice level, but it's not the same food. So things that are tying us together are about the nature of the experience and not necessarily the experience itself. The universe is a really interesting place. There are so many of us on this earth, over 7 billion. And in order for us to each learn what it is that we are attempting to learn about ourselves, and also assist in the transformation of the collective body as well, there have to be so many variables that can align, that can, work out. And in order to do that, we can't all do the same thing because we're unique beings. And here on Earth, it's very important that we have our own path. So stay open to the magic in everything of, like, how the hell are we all learning what we need to learn at the same time while simultaneously having the free will to explore it? One of the helpful practices that I have been witnessing during this time in myself and also in others is whatever comes up comes out. Okay, and what this means is that if something comes up for you, maybe you talk about it, but also maybe you just let it flow through you. There's no reason to reassess, put it into another place. Let it flow through you, whether it's pain, whether it's joy. The greatest example for me is when I'm sad, being sad, regardless of how that affects me in the moment, because if I put that off, it's gonna make it worse in the future. And some of the things that are coming up right now is just getting out of the way, because there's a lot of new coming in. And we're all gonna have to be in this space where things are moving. No more solid comfort zones. That's not what this time is about. We're becoming something new. And if the thing that you have coming up for you, when it comes out, it makes others upset, first of all, watch the way you talk. You have tact, have timing, but if we're not upsetting the status quo, the comfort zones, we're not paying attention, because this time is about changing, and you can't change without some growth, and growth is uncomfortable. It's literally discomforting, taking the comfort zone of that which exists and changing it. And I urge you, if you feel that you have something kind to say to someone, like the fact that you love them, tell them. Don't wait. There's no time too soon to tell someone that you love them, okay? Don't wait. Divinity. You, like the moon, are always full. The illusion tells us otherwise. It's a matter of perspective that says the moon changes form, size, and color, just as it is. An illusion that we can change our form when we actually discover our true form by accepting the divine inside. You can avow that you are simply returning back to what you've always been. Every river returns to its mother, the ocean. Analogous to the moon, our lives are a dance in perception of changing form, yet your soul remains the same connected source. Joy is no stranger. In fact, joy is your birthright and has never left your being. You are given this time period to bring forth heaven down to earth by being an example of light and vibration living. With such a valiant purpose, loneliness peers into the window of your soul at times. It is not an easy paved road sharing truly sacred wisdom. You are an echo to the evolution, yet not all have listening ears. Recognize that during these times of solitude, you are building your character. Thank those who say you've changed. You are becoming you. At about 6 p.m. Pacific, the moon will be trining Pluto. Okay, this will be the first trine to Pluto since Pluto has backed its way back into Capricorn, where it will be until January 20th of 2024. If you remember, as of March 23rd, 26th, the last few weeks of March, Pluto moved into tropical Aquarius for the first time in over 200 years, where it will be hanging out for about the next 20. But first, we have this time between June 10th and January 20th, where Pluto will finish things up in Capricorn. So as the moon trines Pluto, today it is releasing energy. Let's remember that trines are always a easeful release of energy, but the energy being released is not actually easeful to deal with. It is deep, it is intense, it has to do with the past, okay? So if you can, let that shit go, it'll serve you. It'll serve you. And if you're watching this video, not on today, which is the 15th of June, 2023, if you're watching it later than that, this is still unfolding, okay? This is gonna be a process, again, until January and perhaps beyond, but we'll talk more about. There's another aspect that is developing, and it involves two very fun planets, in my opinion, Saturn and Jupiter. The first thing to consider is that Saturn itself, traveling through tropical Pisces at 7 degrees and 12 minutes, will be at that position for the next 36 to 72 hours because it is going stationary. Yes, Saturn is going retrograde as of midday on the 17th. Now, the position at which this is occurring is in what's called sextile to the planet Jupiter. So this is a pretty tight aspect, meaning that it is very close to its exactitude, and its exactitude will occur on the 19th. And so this is a time where there are a few things unfolding. One of them is that Saturn is more powerful, okay? Any planet that is going stationary is going to have power. It is very calm, it's staying in one spot, it's able to focus its energy, and for Saturn, that's very powerful. Consider those rings of ice like a buzzsaw that just buzzes through whatever sort of fluff and floof might be out there. But alas, we have a friend. Jupiter in sextile, that is a 60-degree angle, 2 signs apart. Jupiter will be providing some ability to take the constrictive energy of Saturn and work with the expansive energy of Jupiter, because one without the other is too serious, and the other one is it's unfurled. You can't do anything with it. It's like, where the hell are you going? So Jupiter is the one that's following up and sweeping past this aspect to Saturn, as Saturn is stationary. So Jupiter is allowing us to move forward. And Jupiter itself is still resonating with the aspect that happens about once every 8 years, where Jupiter aligns with the north node of the moon. So that did occur in the first week of June. So if you felt that you have been shifted in alignment and you're still settling into that, this time period between right now, the 15th, and about the 19th, 20th, 21st, you'll see how you ground in those changes and how it really comes through and is fruitful for you going all the way back to multiple lifetimes. But in this timeline, early March. What happened in early March? What got kicked off? And now it's coming to fruition. It is fruiting. Let's remember what that word means, fruition, fruit. You're getting some fruit on your plant. Just as a note, we will have Pluto, that is retrograde, and then we will have Saturn, and then on the last day of the month, June 30th, Neptune will go retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Also on June 17th, there's a new moon occurring at 26 and 43 minutes of Gemini. This is a late sign new moon, meaning there is plenty of processing that has been done. There is garbage that wants to be taken out. There is garbage that wants to take itself out. There are also new opportunities burgeoning. It might be a little bit of a waiting game during this time, like what's going to happen, but that is because things are getting moving. And in this mutable air sign, we are waiting for the electricity and the communication to find itself. Mercury will find its inferior conjunction to the sun in about 2 weeks, so as of the 30th. So if there's anything that needs to get going and it feels like, is it gonna get there? Set your sights on it, build on that, and know that by the end of the month, it will find that expression point, okay? And there may be a lot of details in between. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. And if you get distracted, bring yourself right back to center. And more on the new moon in the next few days. But do remember that this new moon is in square to Neptune. So it could get a little weird. It could get a little bit like, I don't know what's happening. Maybe I'm doubting myself. And with Pluto back into Capricorn, there might be a little bit of like, the past was really nice. I remember the good things, but I also remember the tough things. So just remember where you are. Remind yourself that you are right here, right now. Because that's really the only place you freaking can be. Can't do anything else, right? Right? And this is a pleasant time, but you've got to find the pleasantry within you. If you're feeling like your feelings are hurt, learn about your ego. And if you're feeling confident, express that ego. You know, you keep yourself in check, but you don't need to fucking crush yourself. You can live, you can have fun. This is Venus and Mars in the same sign traveling together, which they'll be doing for some bit of time. And coming up in July, we'll talk about the Venus retrograde in Leo, which is going to be very, very fun. I'm very much looking forward to reestablishing my value systems. Happy New Moon. Okay, this part is going to be a general read, meaning listen to the messages. If they're for you, they're for you. If they're not, but they're speaking to the collective, and we all need to hear some of this. All right, thanks for hanging out. And remember, you can check out everything I do at astrologywithjames.com, or you can find me on social media at Astrology with James. All right, let's talk about what's going on. General read. If you have questions or intentions, pause the video, tune into them right now. This will speak to you. This is what intuitive work and channeling is about. The messages speak to all of us the same way that the sun radiates life, and we all use it in different ways. Anyway, let's go. Okay, so there's a combination between overthinking, overanalyzing, and then like not doing anything. Okay, but this is troubling for two reasons. One of them is that you got to do something. You got to make some sort of decision. Even if you don't take action, just hold your mind in a space of decisiveness. Practice that muscle. Can you flex it right now? What if you were to flex your decisiveness muscle? Like, what are you going to eat for dinner? Something strong like that. Whew, I may be tired. But also, there's a lot of strategic games that are going on right now. This is due to the fact that over the last few months and really over the last few years, all of our defenses have been taken down. We're being watched all the time. You know, things are being tracked. It's just been a lot of stuff that came to the surface that maybe we wanted to keep below it. So what I'll tell you is that if you feel stuck inside, you're not alone, and you don't have to actually make decisions, but practice your decisiveness. Get yourself ready for that. When we're able to make our own decisions, we ask less of the environment. And when we do that, we're less likely to be manipulated or taken advantage of. We all need a little bit of time alone to consider what's been going on. Somebody out there needs it. We have to think about, how do we create an internal space that's only ours, but still not lose touch with the fact that we're all working together. Some of us have family, kids that we need to take care of. Where do you find your alone space? I mean, I meditate. I go out into nature, which, as I'm saying this, I'm realizing I haven't been doing enough of it. Where do you find your own space? Where do you find your private time? And then you're training. We're all training. What are we training for? Sometimes it's best that you don't know. But the experiences that we've had that have seemed difficult, hear me out on this, will pale in comparison to what we are going to face. Now, this is kind of always true, but like the same way as like a child learning to tie a shoe is like, fuck, this is hard. And then later, like he could become a shoe designer and it's not that hard. That's the kind of growth that we're going through. We have to remember that we are spiritual children and we're just learning. And this is a little reminder, if anybody speaks to you like they know exactly what's going on and what you should do, I urge you to stay away from that person, okay? Because they are going through a phase where they are identifying so much with the wisdom or knowledge that they are receiving that they're forgetting that they're also just a child of the universe. So take everything with a grain of salt, including this stuff. Including this stuff. Okay, final card. This message is for somebody special out there. We got to celebrate a little bit more. Things have gotten a little serious. Have fun. It's okay. Don't save it for another day. If you love somebody, tell them. If you enjoy something, do it. If you have the opportunity to go somewhere, don't play it conservative. You know, don't use all your resources, but you have to enjoy parts of your day, parts of your work, parts of your life, parts of your relationship. And if your relationships are not that fulfilling, don't spend time with those people. Take a break from them. It says nothing about them. Your experience isn't about other people. It's about you. And if you can speak up for that experience, then you will find yourself surrounded by the most amazing, nourishing, and nurturing people. And I want to remind you that I fucking love you. And I am glad that you exist. And all beings that speak through me at all times, because who knows what the hell that is, right? They love you. They support you. And right now, take a second, take a deep breath in. And notice all of that support. Let it sink into yourselves. And as you walk through your day, today, tomorrow, the next day, remember that some things happen just so we can learn about ourselves. And if we were to know why, we wouldn't learn these things. Okay, life is a journey. Take your time, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and be nice to animals, okay? They love you, they're here to help. Isn't that right, Shiva? Isn't that right, Shiva? You're here to help? You here to help? Oh my goodness. She here to bite and she here to help. Oh God. See you soon, friends. Bye-bye.